Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the third group. We will present our presentation is about the kinds of translation. I'm Ahmad Nasution.
I'm Aulan Nisa.
I'm Muhammad Zakky Mubarak.
Before we start our presentation, I want to ask you, what are you feeling today?
I feel great today. Okay, I'm the first presenter. I will present or explain about our material is about kinds of translation. According to Roman Jacobson, there are three kinds of translation. The first is intralingual translation, and the second is interlingual translation, and the third is intersemiotic translation. For the first is intralingual translation. Intralingual translation is a process of transforming a text into another text according to translator interpretation but with the same language. For example, the poem of Aku by Khairil Anwar translates to prose in Indonesia. And the second is interlingual translation. It's a process of transforming the source text message into another language. Like in our PPT, we can see in our PPT. And the last or the third is intersemiotic translation. Intersemiotic translation is interprets into another sign or system. Like a movie or a novel translate to a movie, like Carmilla in our textbook, from a novel into the movie.
I'm the second presenter. I will present about kind of translation according to Sabri. First, perfect translation. Perfect translation is a kind of translation that is often to see in public area. For example, the symbol. The symbol you can see in the public area. Source text, no smoking. Target text, dilarang merokok. An example, second example, this symbol you can see in example airport. Source text, check your luggage. Target text, periksa barang-barang Anda sebelum turun. For this kind of text, the most important thing is the source message. It's transformed well with the same meaning in the target text. Second, adequate translation. This translation often is used in the literary works such as pop novels. This kind of translation made to get the satisfactory result for the reader. In the process of translating, the translator could erase or replace freely a sentence or part of the sentence. For example, a translation of a novel entitled Harry Potter, written by J.K. Rowling, into Indonesia.
Okay, I will explain the third explanation as composite translation. Composite translation requires a two-step translation. In example, we should translate from the Mandarin first into English. After we translate into English, we translate again into Indonesian. This is automatically by the system. The audience just heard from Mandarin first and then into Indonesian language. This translation is made well enough to make the message, the meaning and the style of source language into target language. An example like the old man and the sea. We can translate into Indonesia Lelaki Tua dan Laut by Sapardi Djoko Damono. And the second example like the adventure of Huckleberry Finn into Indonesian Petualangan Huckleberry Finn by Joko Lelono. And then the fourth explanation is about research and technical translation. This kinds of translation is made for translating text related to science or technique. For example, translating books related to computer science from English to Indonesian in order to develop the information about computer in Indonesia. Translator focus on documentary research before starting translation. Important to know is to get the attention of the reader that documentary research is not only necessary before the translation but before, during and sometimes after the translation at the level of the final review of the next produce in the target language. That's all about our presentation today. I think or we hope this we can get conclusion, and there are,
According to Roman Jacobson, there are three kinds of translation. The first is intralingual translation in the same language, and the second is interlingual translation in the different language, and the third or the last is intersemiotic translation, different sign or system.
And according to Savary, there are four kinds of translation. First, perfect translation. Perfect translation is kind of translation that is often to see in public area. Second translation is adequate translation. This translation often used in the literary works such as pop novels. The translator could erase or replace freely a sentence, a part of the sentence.
okay, the next kinds of translation according to Savary is composite translation, and then the number 4 is research and technical translation. Okay, that's all about our presentation. We hope you watch this video from the first until the end. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.